ready?
Yeah.
Okay, we good? Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Seneca County Board of Commissioner meeting. Today's Thursday, July 11th. It's 10 a.m. This is our regular board session, and we open our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're not expecting a call.
No, I'm not. I don't know who we're being.
First time that's happened. That's our ditching, we don't know what.
No deterrence today.
Okay, we'll just, everybody gather your thoughts. We'd like to start with an opening prayer. Dear God, thank you for such a beautiful day. Thank you for the state of Ohio, this great country, Seneca County. And we ask you to look over our meeting today as the commissioners listen to our constituents and others that we do what's best for the county. Amen. Amen. Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Here.
Commissioner Schuff?
Here.
Commissioner Frankert?
Here. So welcome everyone. See a lot of new faces out there. We have three formal items on the agenda. We have Safe Built, which is our Seneca County Building Inspection Services. We have the Master Gardeners here, and then we have the City of Clyde to talk about the County Road 34 water line project. Am I missing anything? Does anybody else want to? Presley, we'll catch you at the end, right? Okay, so we're good. So come on up. We have Bob Kurtz.
Can we approve
We have to do the minutes. I do this every time. I'll make a motion to approve the digital minutes of our last meeting, June 27th.
I'll second.
Commissioner Frankert?
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso, sorry.
Yes. It's nice, by the way, approving minutes that are recorded. There it is, you know, so it doesn't take a lot. Thank you for that. So Bob, come on up, please. Bob Kurtz from Safe Built, and you have the floor.
Thank you, Commissioners. Again, my name is Bob Kurtz. I am the building official for the Seneca County Building Department. I actually work for a company called Safe Built that the county has contracted with to provide the service. We've been here for about a year now. Things have been going great, actually very busy. Tiffin and Fostoria are, of course, keeping us the most busy. A lot of things going on. You know, the first year, there was things to learn with the different communities, how they worked and things that they wanted, because every community is different in how much interaction they want between the building department and their offices. We always work closely with the fire departments. But, you know, we've kind of met with all the cities and we've got an understanding of the things that they're looking for so we can work together in the future. There are some things that we're still working on, some things that I think will help the process with the different county agencies. So we are in the process of developing that, which I think will be a benefit to anybody coming to do projects in the county. Other than that, we're just very happy to be here and excited to be a part of Seneca County.
Awesome. Do you have any comments?
No, I've heard great things about what you guys are doing, you know, between Fostoria, Tiffin, and the county stuff on that. So appreciate your dedication and stuff to getting the permits in a little quicker fashion than what we had previously. So.
Yeah.
I've heard really good things out of Fostoria, same with Tiffin, and I actually got to sit through your guys' process with some of the walkthroughs and inspections and stuff, and then seeing how you guys conduct yours compared to what we had before just seemed a lot more streamlined, quicker and efficient, so appreciate you guys hitting the ground running.
Yeah. No
So
problem.
for the benefit of some public and those that may not know, the city of Fostoria sits within 3 counties, and the city of Fostoria voted to come with us in Seneca County and with Safe Built. They used to go to Wood County for their permits. So Safe Built covers all Seneca County, including the city of Tiffin. Welcome, Mayor, thanks for coming. And the city of Fostoria. So that's nice. The villages are kind of on their own. That's our next project, is to get around and encourage all the villages, the 6 villages, to tuck in. It will not cost them anything. And whoever has the project pays for the permit. but we're right here to help them. Right now, if you're in a village, you have to go to Richland County to work with the commercial building department, where you could work with Safe Bill, who's basically in Fremont and Tiffin. So that's kind of where we're at. Well, we appreciate you coming. We had a little meeting beforehand, and I don't have anything else. Barb, you want to
I
say
do not have
anything?
anything else. I do appreciate everything that you've done. Emails are always answered in a timely fashion when I send something, so I appreciate that.
And I think we want to clarify too, that they're the commercial part.
Correct,
They don't
commercial
have the-
only.
Yeah, commercial only, that there's no
Residential,
residential code. So, yeah.
Correct.
That's what clarifies.
Anything
Residential.
else, Commissioner?
Just keep up the good work and,
See
thank
you.
you for the
Get back to work,
communications.
right?
Yeah, right. No, I appreciate it, and, yeah, I mean, this is the way it's supposed to be. We're here to actually help. We're here to work with the contractors and the business owners, to make it a painless procedure. So, we're just glad to be here.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next, we have Master Gardeners. Who is this?
Presley.
Presley.
Sorry.
Usually Robin Worrell's here. Is she here? Okay. Welcome. Please introduce yourself if you
Yes.
would.
Yes,
You have the floor.
my name is Steve DeTillian. I've been Master Gardener volunteer for 4 years now, and I'm speaking today because I am our publicity chairperson. All right, the Seneca County Master Gardener Volunteers are community members with a passion for gardening and a commitment to helping others learn. What sets us apart from other home gardeners is the extensive training in horticulture that we receive from the Ohio State University. And in return for their training, the Seneca County Master Gardeners contribute their time and their expertise as volunteers for extension horticulture programs. Master Gardener offers training in education of plant care, pest management, and sustainable gardening practices, and are dedicated to promoting solid environmental stewardship. Now, the Master Gardeners are your community partners in cultivating beautiful yards and thriving gardens. Our particular group involves 38 volunteers. We are no financial cost to the county. We have our annual plant sale the third weekend of every May at the Seneca County Flea Market, and it provides us enough revenue to cover all the expenses that we have throughout the year. Now, what we're going to talk about today, we were represented here at the October 12th County Commissioners meeting, and we're going to take off from where they left off as far as explaining things that we're doing. Now, most of the events that we are going to talk about in our presentation will either be one of two things. There'll be an example of continuous education events for just our own personal Master Gardener volunteer continuous education. That's a big thing with the Master Gardeners, a big thing with Ohio State University Extension. The other will be active Master Gardener volunteers such as us training and interacting with people in the community at different events which are open to the public. Okay, so Marcia will take care of that here.
Hi, I'm Marcia Dandar. I'm the current president of our group, and I just kind of wanted to bring you up to let you know what we've been doing for this year and a little bit of last year. Every year we give out a scholarship. We try to. If people apply for it, we give a $500 scholarship to any Seneca County's high school student that's majoring in agriculture. And this year we gave one to a Seneca East graduate, Jessica Bowerman, she's attending OSU Agricultural Tech Institute in Worcester. And we also gave another one to Jocelyn Levengood, who's currently attending Oklahoma State University, and she also won it last year. So that's something we do. And last year, we nominated, at a state level, we can nominate a friend of the Master Gardener, and we nominated Susan Carty, who's a professor of biology, retired from Heidelberg, and she actually won it. So we got to present that to her at our Christmas party, which was kind of fun. Our big projects, like Steve mentioned, the plant sale, that was very successful this year. We sold over 1,000 plants and over 80 rhubarb plants. Everybody loves our rhubarb. If you
Yeah,
guys-
I do.
If you need rhubarb, come third weekend of May
better
to our
when-
plant sale at the fairgrounds during the flea market, but we're right in front, so you
It's
can
better
get
when you
your...
make a pie.
We could probably hook you up.
We just grow it, yeah.
Our second biggest project is the entrance to the fairgrounds flower beds. I don't know if you've noticed it, but there's flower beds on both sides, and they're usually pretty nice looking. We weed and mulch and deadhead everything, and we take care of all the expenses for the hoses and the mulch and everything out of our funds. And we get volunteer hours for doing it, and we all kind of enjoy the social activity.
Looks great out there.
Well, thank you. We get a lot of compliments on it. We also give presentations at the fairgrounds. Well, before I get to that, we had our 25th anniversary party out there. The public was invited. We had a few displays set up, and we also Presley presented the awards to the members for who had most hours and whatever. We also, the last 2 years, participated in the Christmas light display, where the drive-through at the fairgrounds, we decorate our flower beds, and everybody said they look great. Every year we get a little bit better. More trees and whatever. Last year we gave presentations at the fair, during the fair, and on how to grow hydrangeas, iris, succulents, African violets, hostas, along with container planting, pollinators, and the invasive spotted lanternfly. And if you haven't heard about that, you need to hook up with one of us to find out about it, because it's not good. We also hand out seed packets at the First Lutheran Church during their food drive in May, and we talked to the people that came through and kind of explained how to plant them or whatever, if they had any questions. We donate to Grow Ohio, and that's a program through Ohio State. And don't Google it, because I Googled it, and the only thing that came up was how to grow, I'm not supposed to say it, but marijuana. That's a big thing now, apparently. But we donated 865 pounds of canned food and 222 pounds of fresh food in 2023. And so far this year, we've donated 277 pounds of food to the Grow Ohio. And it's like we donate to the Salvation Army, the local food,
Fish.
yeah, fish, the food pantries, all that kind of stuff. Things that we've grown out of our garden have excess of.
Guess I didn't realize all that.
Yeah. And then we have given presentations at the library. We've given presentation there to the public, and we also get our own education hours too by going to it or giving one on how to read a seed packet, winter sowing, care of rhubarb, soil testing, spotted lanternfly, bulb plants, and good agricultural practices, backyard vegetable gardening, and on and on. In 2024, we are giving, we had presentations at the fairgrounds for the open to the public. One was Gary Wiley from the Sandusky River Valley Beekeeper Association. He came and talked about honeybees. Our group gave a presentation on pollinators and how to identify different bees. Matt Vitullo, hope that's right, with Ohio Department of Natural Resources, presented on attracting and deterring backyard wildlife. And I'm almost done. 2024, we had Amber Emmons from the CCA Water Quality Extension Associate for Wood, Henry, and Ottawa County. She gave a presentation. We also had one on mushrooms and mushroom production and building a bee-safe insecticide program. And then our group also likes to take trips, which is kind of the fun part of this. We go to different places and learn about their flowers and whatever. And so far this year, we went to Petal Patch Nursery, the Toledo Botanical Gardens, and the Blue Creek Nursery in Toledo. And we have trips planned for Franklin Conservatory in Columbus and Oak Openings in Toledo. So that's all I have. Any questions?
Wow, been busy.
Yeah, we are a busy group.
It's, you know, the continuous education part of Master Gardener, it really never does end. And the
Right.
presentations, we're getting more and more of them, especially since Presley Berman took over as our educator, she's opening a lot of doors. We actually were getting them faster than we can fill them. We don't have that many people. We do need, we've got, 38 is a very good number, but we'd like to have more people. We had a very good recruiting class last year of interns, and right now we're preparing, we're promoting our class of 2025. We will be at the Seneca County Fair. We will be in with the Ohio State University Extension and Seneca County booth. We will have people out there, representatives that you can talk to about Master Gardeners, what we do, joining if you're interested. We do have, if you are interested right now, anybody hears that, they'd like to at least find out more about it right now, you can go visit go.osu.edu/join-scmgv online, or we also have, you can email capital F, capital A, capital E, capital S / Seneca County MGV @osu.edu, or you can call, you'll probably get Presley at the Extension office. You can call 419-447-9722.
So Sherry, media, just as she's taking all that, do you need a copy or anything?
I think I got it.
Make sure I got it, okay, all right. We will just make sure we get to remember that.
All right, well,
All those letters.
in conclusion, we would, the Seneca County Master Gardener volunteers would like to thank you for supporting us, all you've done, and
Thank you. So hang on real quick before we get a picture. I want to make a comment and ask you to introduce Presley. So Doug Stacy's sitting out here, Township Trustee, Pleasant Township, my township, welcome. His wife was a county commissioner, and I replaced Holly. One of the things she did was lobbied hard for the commissioners to hire another person at Ohio State Extension, and that's Presley now. It started out as a 50-50 grant, and then we had to make that decision. It's a tough decision. You look at taxpayer money. Do we need this person? Don't we need this person? We think we had a home run with who we have. Commissioner Frankert sits on that committee, so I'll let you introduce Presley, and Presley, I'd like you to just tell everybody, for sure, Master Gardens, but then add some of the other things that you're doing in our county that we, the commissioners, feel is good use of taxpayer money. So I want to just kind of tee that up.
Sure.
Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah.
Thank you.
As Tori said, welcome Presley Burma. She's been with us over a year now. Yeah, so that was when we interviewed, there was 5 or 6 candidates, and she flew right to the top of that, and she's done a fantastic job leading Master Gardeners, the education part, and everything for OSU. So come on up and
Okay.
update us.
So my job is agriculture and natural resources educator, which is a broad spectrum of, I like to say, anything and everything. But my background is animal science and vegetables, so I do a lot with home gardeners. I do a lot with master gardeners, people out in the community who have questions about their vegetable gardens, as well as local farmers, whether it's animals or agronomic farming or even vegetable farming. I help with all that as well. I also do a lot of research. A couple research projects that I'm looking at right now are focusing on the consumer side of growing produce and other farm products. So 2 specifically that I'm working on is different sweet corn varieties, growing them, seeing what is going to be best with the customer trends, and then helping farmers decide what varieties they should grow, so we can see what varieties are going to be best, and you as the consumer are able to get the best varieties. I am also doing research at the farmers markets, looking at prices, what people are selling, the quality of what's being sold, and working with other educators in the state of Ohio to kind of make a book, per se, of all of the farmers markets and produce markets in Ohio. So the farmers who come to those are able to adequately price their products, look at what other people are pricing for, be able to determine what's going to be sold best at the different farmers markets, as well as on the consumer side, you're able to see the various prices of things, where things are being sold, if there's something specific you're looking for, and maybe it's being sold in Southern Ohio before it's sold here in Northern Ohio, you'll be able to see that. I'm doing couple other research projects as well, but those are kind of the two main ones right now. I also do a lot of education. So this fall, I'm bringing a nutrient management course to the county. I helped with Master Gardeners courses. We're doing like planning for the future of your farm courses, farm management courses, and then getting people who might be beginners in things, getting them the education or the things that they are going to need to be able to start their farm, get their enterprises, various things like that. As well as just answer questions. So if you have any questions, please call me.
Thank you.
Do you guys set up to sell plants at the farmers markets in Tiffin and Fostoria? I know you do the flea
Yeah, no,
market.
we basically just do the flea market, or the plant sale.
That's all we did
with our-
this year. Last year, we did a couple others.
Yeah.
Usually the flea market is where they're kind of used to us out there. They asked for us if we, the one year we got our location moved and people were asking.
Thousands of
where
plants,
you
that's
got-
pretty impressive.
It's a lot of fun, and that's a lot of education. That's everything all in one there. Education, for us, continuous education, the questions that people come and ask.
And these are mostly plants that we've dug up from our homes, so we know they're good plants to
Yeah.
sell to other people.
That's awesome.
Preston, thank you. Good, Steve, Marcia, thank you. If you don't mind,
Picture?
we'll get a photo.
Yep.
Preston, can you come up too, please? We'll get a quick photo. Well, that's awesome.
Should we hop on the other side? It'd be easier to just hop on the other side? Might be more efficient.
Okay.
Yeah, hey, should we just go on the other side with you? Oh,
I think there's more room back here.
Oh, we get to go behind the
Master Gardeners, come on up.
I know, I'm always in the front. And Jean.
Jump in the middle, Preston.
It's all good. We're glad everybody came. Thank you.
We're ready. Everybody look this way and smile. Everybody smile. Give me 1 second here. Having some trouble with it.
This is Kayla from the advertising as well. She's on deck.
Everybody smile one more time. Okay, don't move. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for what you're doing. Thank you.
thanks, Preston. Thanks for being here. I have a cactus in my bathroom.
Hey, you're free to take off if you'd like to, or stay, up to you.
Thank you.
That's one nice thing there we get to do, right? Is, you have your great city and all the great volunteers and all the people that do things.
Showing appreciation for all those people that do that extra work.
Yeah, you just love bringing them in, and it's amazing. Okay, next, Paul. Where's Paul at?
Yes.
Paul, welcome. Well, you meet finally. Come on up. So, this discussion is the city of Clyde. You represent the city of Clyde.
Yes.
And County Road 34, you are putting a water line from the river to your reservoir. And so the floor is yours. And Commissioner Franklin, anybody want to speak up, feel free, but I'll turn the floor over to you.
Okay, so we were requested here by the county engineer. I don't think Mark's here, but we've got our entire team, so I guess we are
Okay?
open to any questions you might have. With a little bit of background, this project has been kind of in the works for approximately 20 years. Funding was always the issue. This past year, we've received approximately $4 million in funding from the Department of Development. And we're really tackling this job now because of that grant, not in spite of it.
Yeah. So, are there issues? we support the project, right? We've hit some stumbling blocks, is that part of the issue?
To be honest, I'm not really sure. The plans were with the Seneca County engineer for 9 months, maybe longer.
Maybe a
Nate?
little longer.
A little longer than that. We've got 3 pages of hand notes that he wanted incorporated into the plans, and then basically a lot of email exchanges that if, these were incorporated, the plans are approved. So that's where we're at. We did the job. A local firm, at least to us in Clyde, was the low bidder, which is D2 Excavating. And the Seneca County engineer has a road improvement project going on that we can't start the work along the road until roughly the 1st of October. But we can do work along the river for the inlet and the lift, or the pump station. And then there's a small stretch along our reservoir that we could also do some work. I guess that's kind of the summary at this point.
So, yeah, I think a couple of things just kind of come up through the process a little bit is, and I wish Mark was here, but he had another commitment, I guess, I talked to him a little bit yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think a couple of things, we were maybe not seeing the plans under the assumption, residents, you got some homes that you're going to be going through, assuming there's going to be bored. Now we're finding out that might be a little bit of an issue and stuff on it. Any updates on that as far as, because you got some nice driveways paved, through that, and I guess along with that has there been any communication with the landowners along as this process has started here recently?
So, no, but we're working, so how we typically do it is, we're still 2 months out from doing any construction on the road. So we build a contact list. We talk with the folks ahead of time, but not so far ahead of time that changes could be made between the time we talk to them and do the work. So that's kind of the process where we're at now. As far as the borings go, Bill and I have talked. We submitted the plans in good faith that Mark was going to review them and have the authority to okay them, and I'm assuming that's the case. Those bores, in my opinion, should have been called out if that's what they wanted. It would have been much more appropriate to do that through the bid process. And then I'm not sure if we're talking, I don't know what's being requested, the entire yard, just the asphalt driveways. Some rough numbers, if we're just talking the asphalt driveways, you're 150, 200 grand extra on those. If we're talking all residential yards, that number's just gonna go off the charts. And then if you're talking the entire job, we're talking millions and millions, so I'm not sure. We've only been dealing with a set of plans that have been approved by the Seneca County engineer.
I think review, but I don't think he's not officially signed off on it, has he?
Yep.
Oh, he has signed off. Okay.
You 3 signed also.
Well, he's not here.
Right.
My understanding is, first of all, we support the project. So this isn't about, we love it, right? You want to get water, we just have to get alignment. The Seneca County engineer's in charge of that road. And my understanding, talking to him, he's not here, so Paul, correct me, was you had plans you submitted around 5 years ago, plus or minus, okay? Since that period of time, I see Doug out there, extensive work has been done to County Road 34. We're talking millions of dollars from the county side of things. Just a lot of work, and you'll see we've talked to all the residents, we're putting the mailboxes up, there's culverts, there's gas lines, there's field tile, and we've got that all ready to go. And he's just about ready to pave.
Yep.
Now, God bless you, you're lucky, you got the $4 million grant, you're ready to go. But some things have changed from his perspective. he's not against it from my talks with him. But he just doesn't want you just going 7 miles digging. There's just a lot, it's complicated. So I'm not sure that the plans you have 5 years ago actually line up with all the stuff that's been done. That's my conversation with him. He's very pro
project.
I'll issue a permit, let's do a mile at a time, I just want to make sure the contractor does a good job, we'll see how it goes. That's kind of my take on it.
Just communicate with.
I don't know what numbers you're using, you know, you bid the job to complete the project, we do that all the time, cost, everything changes, you know, but I don't think we're really far apart. But boring, there's just a lot going on under there. When I talked to Mark, he just would like, and so we support Mark, right? He's the county engineer.
Sure.
We support the project, 100%. But we have landowners and we have a lot of stuff going on in there that we've already paid. You know, he's ready to pay that thing. He's got his grants and his plan too. And he's just a little bit concerned, but he's gonna work with you from what I can see.
Yeah, so,
You know.
yeah, I mean, as recently as April 23rd, I'm looking at an email from him, and that's when he basically gave us the 3 pages of things he wanted incorporated into the plans, and he's seeing the new plans.
Yeah.
So April 23rd, you know, he stated that with these provisions, we will issue the permit, so. we
He
bid
talked to
it-
us then after that.
We bid it according to, again, working in good faith.
Okay, so is the disconnect, you bid it based on those, based on the April plans, and now, any changes to that would be a concern to you, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the kind of changes we're talking about.
Well, and I think part of the process too of
Yeah.
that is, and maybe prior to the April 23rd was, maybe a little assumption on his part, our part was that you was in full communication with the residents along 34 there to kind of get input on this project, you know, so that way you had everything forthwith on it. At least that's coming from up here that, you know, with the residents, because any projects that Mark's ever done that, you know, besides me being a commissioner, as a farmer, as he's always communicated, when he started the 34 project widening, he met with the landlord, said, this is going on, how can we work together on this? Zero has come from you guys up to today on any communication on that.
With landowners?
With landowners.
Is that reasonable? Is that fair?
And I can test that, because I got.
No, I understand where you're coming from, but we
Any
don't,
projects is done in the county, it's always communication.
we don't get the permit from the individual owners because we're in the road right away. We're absolutely not 100% in the road right away. So with that, we look to Mark to approve the plans.
So Paul, let's keep the conversation going.
Yep.
And can you introduce yourself?
Oh, sure, I'm Rob Jers with LJB.
Okay.
They're our design engineers.
Well, so we have some citizens in here, and if you don't mind, so wait to the end, let's just make this
Yeah, that's,
County Road 34 discussion
Yep.
and see if we can get everything out there, if that's okay.
Yep.
So I saw a hand, a couple of you want to,
Number one,
can you state your name and then you can come up or stand right there.
I have a handout here I'd like
Okay.
to give you.
Come on up.
Bob, Jim, tell them your name, just so we got on.
Number one, there's been no communication.
Yeah.
I found out by accident from an underground utilities.
Yeah, come on up, please, introduce yourself and,
My name is Jim Rolfe, I live on 34.
okay, hi Jim.
I have a handout here. I found out by accident this project is going to happen. And then I found out by accident that my neighbor Tim Durst is going to be the contractor. I stopped to see Tim last Saturday. He had the plans and I said, how are you going to do this in front of my house, which I have a nice lawn? He said, we're going to open dig it across the front of my property, probably 3 feet wide, 5 feet deep. There's already a metal drain line there, so I'm not sure how they're going to handle that. And then I asked him, where's he going to go with the dirt that he digs out of this big hole? He's not going on my yard with it because he can't get it in the right of way. So he said, well, maybe we'll go to the roadside. Does that mean they're going to put the dirt on the road and then push it back in? He said they're gonna bore under the creek, which is the west part of my property, to Township Road 169, and I have a picture of that if you want to see it. Then he said they're gonna dig, open dig, across the front of my property, through my blacktop driveway and on east. It's gonna be a mess. My questions are, number one, where are they gonna go with the spoils? And what are they gonna do about fixing it? And why do we have to let them dig through? Why don't they bore? And Tim's answer to that was, well, they can't afford it. If they can't afford it, then don't do it. If you're gonna do a crappy job, don't do it. Do a good job, I'm all for it. I've got a picture of what I'm talking about if you wanna see it.
Yeah, we would. We absolutely would.
And there's a whole
Can you
list of
send that
questions.
to us or make a copy somehow? We can get it.
There's a whole list of questions there that I have.
Okay. Do you have an extra
We
copy
got
for Mark?
copies. Mark, and I don't know, Pfizer, yeah, one.
Give Paul.
Give that one, all everything.
I've got some more.
We got some more, yeah, make sure they get it.
This is the yard, and that shows you 169 where it comes out onto my property.
I know somebody that lives on 169.
How big is it?
Okay.
20-inch, Paul, is that the size?
20 inch, yes.
So how big a hole are they gonna dig and how deep?
So 20 inch, I mean, you're gonna be 5 feet deep, the bottom of the trench.
So we're talking about a pile of dirt that won't fit in this room.
Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna level it all on your property. They have to remove the spoils.
Where are they gonna go with it?
They'll take it to a dump site.
And then how are they gonna fill the trench back in?
Some stone, some dirt with what was there. I mean, we're restoring, part of our permit is to restore it just like it was.
You'll never restore it just like it is. They put a 12-inch gas line across from my house in the field. I can see it. And my question is, why don't you just go across to farmers' fields, pay for an easement, and do it like everybody else does? Just because you're in the right of way doesn't give you the right to just tear everything up.
Well, this is where the engineer comes in.
And how long after the project are you guys responsible for restoring?
We'll be restoring it in perpetuity. I mean, it's gonna be our line, you know, we'll have to locate it, we'll have to fix what settles.
For how long? Yeah, we hear that from people, and it's like a year or two after, then you're
Right.
disappeared.
It's usually the year. Mark required 2 years.
Yeah, I say at least, because even 2 years is even pretty on the short side as it is, but.
I mean, we've got a whole city you can come look at. We take care of, Bill.
Jim, you have anything else you'd like to say?
Not really, I've given you a whole list.
We got it. Thank you. Yeah, that's good.
And I want to tell you, I believe that the engineer, Mark Zimmerman, should require these people to bore underneath people's lawns and driveways. Beyond that, I think everything's okay. And of course, the other big question is, you're getting ready to put a $2 million road in.
Right.
What are we going to do about that?
Well, that's the county concern. Now, you got the county hat on, well, you're the resident, it's everybody's concern.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Just a couple things.
Mr. Stacy.
What about intersections? Were you gonna bore under all the intersections? Was that originally figured in?
Yes.
So when you bore a 21-inch line and it heats the intersection 6-8 inches, I mean, you bored 21 inches without. I seen rural water where they bored 8 inches and heat blacktop driveway. I mean, some of that sandy might help, but you're still, when you bore, you're still gonna.
I will maintain that it's not any better to bore. It's still something that has to be maintained or fixed if it heaves.
Yeah, it'll never be right, but, and the other thing is it was always my understanding when, as a township, this is kind of on the township side.
It's your township.
If we let people put stuff on the right of way, and if we ever want it moved, you have to move it. Is that how you guys, you ever run into that township, Bill, you know?
Yeah, sometimes you have trees or.
Gas line, or we let the gas company put it there, but Mark always told us that if you want to widen that road and it needs moved, they have to do it at their expense. So I don't know if that's something you guys ought to be concerned about. You know, in 50 years when we're not here. some people.
That's a, yeah. that's
But
a
that is
great
something
point,
where if you
yes.
were out on an easement,
And I think that's Mark's thought, because he had us use premium backfill for the whole project.
right,
So it's not dirt.
right, but
So
so you
the
get a
road-
leak, you're gonna go out there and cut a road and
Well, yeah.
fix it. I seen them do it in Old right after they paved it at the bridge, you get Mid-Ohio Chemical there, Mid-Ohio Pipeline. Cut the brand new road, fixed the gas line, they patched it, and it's still bumped. And that asphalt wasn't a year old, and it just makes you mad, you wonder why you get frustrated.
And that's what I'm gonna have, is a driveway with expansion. And what are they gonna do about that steel drain line that's there already? It's not 5 feet deep. You either gotta go over it, under it, beside it, you're running out of right of way. And if they get out of the right of way, I'm gonna put a stop to it.
Did you speak with Mark, Jim?
Pardon?
Have you spoken with Mark Zimmerman?
No.
Okay.
You want me to?
Yeah.
I can do that.
One other, just question,
Go ahead.
comment, since you're the engineer. So, are you the one that was responsible for making sure this cable's here, and this cable's here, and right of way's here, that there's actually room? There's some spots that, doesn't look like there's room to dig that
It's
kind of
tough.
trench to me.
It's tough. There's no doubt, but we figured out a route.
So, roughly, what side of the road are you gonna be on and where you crossing? Just go over it real quick.
Yeah, so
You're starting on the north there, across from Murray's.
let's say on the river, start at the river.
Yep,
We're on the north side till 75.
okay.
Then we switch to the south side,
Past 75 or before, or east of it or west of it?
so we're crossing right at 75.
So you're gonna cross 75 and then go under 34.
Then we are on the south side, all the way up to, this one's a little tougher because east of, maybe it's easier going west. So we're crossing again. So I'm gonna say roughly halfway between 32. Halfway between 32 and 19, there's a pretty big 60-inch culvert. We're crossing roughly in that area,
Back to the
Is it back
north,
to the north?
back to the
on the
north,
reservoir on the other side, right?
back to the north. And then at 32, we're back on the south till we hit the reservoir.
What are they gonna do about those deep ditches east of me? You know, in front of Amy Creechon's house, and those are all drainage ditches. And that 18-inch tile does not take care of the water now, as you well know. And what, are you gonna fill those in, or what are you gonna do there?
Restore them,
Restore them just,
just the way it is. That's what Mark wants us to do.
There's enough right away to be south of that big ditch, huh?
It's tough.
Yeah. That's,
Have you done any survey or any, I guess, surveys lately on that? Because the information you have is everything that you've culminated up to what point then? Up to April or whatever?
I think you guys were just out
I
there.
was saying,
We were
that's
just
I
out there
seen
last week.
now, and I think there's been some surprises that you
Yep.
found now that
Yep.
you didn't know before, is that correct?
100%.
Fair statement? Okay.
Mhm.
So that's kind of why I think there's, maybe it's got a little faster than maybe what it should have before everybody's
That's
engaged and stuff on that.
thankful
here, so.
to the utility companies that decide not to come out and mark their stuff until a contractor calls, and then they realize, oh gosh, they're gonna dig now, so let's go mark it. So
Which
what
I'm sure
happened?
for 5 years ago, they probably marked it a million times for you, and then over time, they probably
Yeah.
get numb to that after a while, because it'll be out all the time, so. Yeah.
This is a
I think
fiber optic that went in last
with
year.
Mark not being here, I think we all need to reconvene again. You've got updated, stuff, it's not like maybe a few questions, stuff on it, we should probably,
Jim should meet with Mark, you want to meet
yeah, we'll
You
get
guys meet with
together.
Doug even?
Yeah.
Or you guys meet with Mark?
I would
The
encourage you to
difficult
start
question,
engaging.
I'm sorry.
And then we'll keep going, yeah.
No, I'm just saying, we've given the contractor notice to proceed, and we have a permit that says we can build the pump station and up to
Up to
51
1 mile.
a mile.
Yeah, and then,
You can do that, right?
okay,
I think we're good
we
with
can do that.
Yeah.
The problem is,
Well-
for us right now, for the city primarily, the contractor's gonna order all this pipe. It's about $1.5 million worth of pipe. He has to order it all. If what we're saying right now is, don't order the pipe, then the city's gonna have to make some decisions soon. It's a big dilemma.
We're not telling you not to order, we're saying is you might have to do more boring, and, you know, if you, back to Jim's suggestion is a little bit too, is, you know, I've been 34 my whole life, that maybe an alternative is right at the creek, jump across, because you have a lot less houses to contend with, going through Gary's and Nelson Wrights and Connie's up to 19 there. Then might be a little change of route. I know it might be a little heartburn and stuff on it, but you have the feasibility of boring through people's yards. I mean, we're going to probably stand with our constituents on this, and you know, with that, because I mean, we're for it, but you know, I get where they're coming from, and with it, so there might be a couple alternatives that you have to maybe.
So I asked Mark this direct question. In all the projects you've done in the county, when you put utilities in, how do you do it? Do you directional drill everything you do? He says, no, it's the industry standard that within the right of way, we open cut. I get everybody's feelings and opinions, but this is the industry standard, and we hold the contract to do restoration.
Well, and I think what, I asked Mark that same question too, and his stance is he's never run a 20-inch through people's yards. I mean, we've had some tile existing stuff that where his, you know, he's come in at and stuff with it. So, again, I think I got back to communication and stuff. You know, when you show up with an excavator in somebody's front yard, I mean, it's just.
They would know.
Yeah.
They would know the week before.
The flags go up and they know, so that's, that's kind of, yeah, there's no doubt about it that, yeah.
What about the old water line that went to the gas plant? Is that on right away, or is that, you got an easement for that?
Say that again?
The city of Clyde's got the old water line that went from the reservoir, crosses right west of Jim, crosses 34, it's a fiber thing, I've seen it once when I was to Island, and it went all the way to the gas plant. Anybody know anything about that?
It's
still there. It's still there.
I believe it's on private easement, and it's dug out in numerous spots from.
So why did you go there?
Other
You had an
utilities.
easement. You could go there and be out the right of way and
Well, it would be for that line.
you're replacing. I mean,
That's a good point, because that's what I was, you're right, because, you know.
Take it out. My question is, Mark is not signed off east of the pickle station, is that right?
Correct.
I think before these people agree to bore, he should not approve it. And if they got the boring equipment there, they're gonna go under Green Creek, up to Township Road 169, they're gonna pop up and dig. Does that make any sense? I talked to somebody from the city of Clyde, might have been you, said, well, the cable company put a cable in my yard, they didn't ask. We're not talking about putting a cable in. And who's gonna pay for all the car washes that I have to go through while I got all this dirt and stuff in my yard? And what's gonna happen if my blacktop driveway goes bad, which you know it's gonna? So, this whole thing makes no sense.
A couple points. I'm the solicitor for the city of Clyde. Number one, the right-of-way is the right-of-way. It's not, it has different rules. I get it, you have a nice yard, I'm glad you have a nice yard. That's not a part of your yard. That's the right-of-way that the government's allowed to use to do stuff. There's an old principle in political science called NIMBYs, not in my backyard, okay? We all want a landfill because we want trash to go somewhere. We don't want to live next to a landfill, okay? We all want the city of Clyde, and I will point out, a lot of Seneca County residents in Green Springs, I think over half their population is in Seneca County, they drink city of Clyde water. They're gonna drink water that goes through this line. So there are some of your constituents as well, okay? I'm sorry about your yard. I get that, okay? It's a pain for you, but there's two different things here, and I represent the city of Clyde. You're talking about your constituents, protecting them. We're on the city of Clyde. All of these things, this boring, okay, how much we're gonna have to do, boring a lot more of the project. We're talking about hundreds of thousands, potentially millions of dollars being spent. That is money that comes from our constituents. That's money that the taxpayers will pay directly. You said earlier when you were talking about hiring this person here, I forget your name, I apologize, Presley, how you want to justify to your taxpayers it's a good use of taxpayer money. It's not a good use of City of Clyde taxpayer money to bore a couple hundred feet so that your yard stays nicer. And I'm sorry if that sounds crude or crass. That's the fact of it. So we will have to push back on some of that. Now, our big issue is we've worked with your county engineer, who is your guys' county engineer. Okay? You're not City of Clyde residents. We worked with your county engineer. How much conversation he had with you, okay? I'm sure he could have predicted that some people would be upset about their yards. The City of Clyde is in no position to go talk to Seneca County residents and ask them what would keep them happier so we can then go to the engineer and do their job for them when they're not here today to keep their residents happy. That makes no sense. We have emails as early as as late as April 2024 saying, tell us everything you want because we're about to bid this out. We get everything back that this person wants, the engineer. We then bid it out. Then we say, okay, great, everyone's happy, we're going to do this project, great, City of Clyde's getting more water for more residents. And then we get the rug pulled out from under us a little and say, well, we also have all these other stipulations because now we've heard some grumblings. You guys are in government. You guys spend government money. That's not how that works. We've been told we can do this project. We're going to proceed with this project. And as far as the issuing of the permits, I get that he's going to issue them 1 mile at a time, which in itself is unorthodox and going to add cost. Okay? But if we're going to be hung up on that, before we spend hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars of taxpayer money, we're going to pursue other avenues. We're going to have to. And that's it. There's no way around it. I'm sorry if I have to be the crass one in the room who has to say all these things, because I know everyone's in the spirit of communication. I work in an adversarial world where I do want everyone to know Clyde's stance and, quite frankly, what the rights are of landowners. I've represented landowners. I've represented governments. The right-of-way is the right-of-way. I have stuff going through my yard that I hate. It is what it is.
I got 2 Buckeye pipelines there now, and we have a drain line there. If Clyde can't afford to do this thing right, don't do it. And I think that's a message that should be taken back to Mark Zimmerman. I asked Tim Durst how long it would take to put this project in. He said they can do 800 feet a day. You do the math. If he starts the 15th of August, which I think is his goal, it'll take him till almost Christmas to get the damn thing done because of weather and all this other stuff. I don't think this project has been very well thought out.
So we're talking about issuing a new permit every 7 days then, if we're doing 800 feet a day. Is that what your engineer's saying?
Okay, hold it. So respectfully, our county engineer's not here.
And can I preface
So,
this by saying that I got a call on Tuesday wanting to meet with you guys to be at this meeting in particular, and I was not even aware that the engineer even knew that you guys wanted to have this meeting. So he can't change his schedule in 2 days to be at this meeting. So I feel like, it was set up that way. I'm not saying it was, but when I talked to Paul, I said, does it have to be this week? Can I do it next week? And he was the one that said he wanted to do it this week. And I feel like I need to defend our engineer because he does have other work to do and can't drop what he's doing just to come here.
I mean, we have thank you.
We could come back at any time when Mark's here. I desperately wanted him here, but this is time-sensitive stuff.
This is good. We're getting some things out. We have another citizen.
Can you state your name, please?
Keep talking about the right-of-way. What is the right-of-way? How many feet and from where?
It's typically 30 feet from the center line each side.
Well, if the road's in the middle of the right of way.
I know.
How wide is right of way in 34? Do you guys know?
60.
Is it 60?
60, I think, but again, not that marked here.
Much.
Right, and that's, you got pipeline, you got stuff in there, that's what, like I said, you run into stuff, it's.
I wonder.
So when this project starts, will there be survey stakes set on the right-of-way line so the contractor knows where his project cannot cross?
That's his option.
Who's that?
The contractors. If he's on that side, if he's on the, close to the right of way, it's his responsibility to make sure he stakes it. So that's on the contractor.
So as a landowner, I will know where his right-of-way ends.
If he's on close to the right-of-way,
Okay.
you will know, yes. Typically, when he's closer to the road, he's not gonna stake that out, because there's no way he's gonna be close to the right-of-way.
So there's an open ditch between the road and my property. He's gonna have to go on the side, land side of the open ditch.
He's not allowed to be on your property.
Yeah.
So I have a question. So this is, 5 years ago, you had plans to do this. Okay, back to the solicitor. At what point did you dust off the plans and start conversation with Mark Zimmerman before April?
So Nate would
How long have
have,
you been talking to
Well,
him?
even before Nate came to the firm, we were talking, and we had revised the plans in 2020, and have been revising them since then, and
Along the way, as he's been doing his road? Okay.
he's known, we've talked about it. We had an email, what, I printed them off there over there, but 2022, we started talking to Mark about the permit. And that's when he said, well, you know, a lot of things have changed out there, and, you know, I'm putting a lot of money into this.
So if he said that, I'm confused, because if you were talking to him all along, why would he even say that?
Say what?
I don't understand.
Well, so my question was, you had a plan 5 years ago, and now you want to, if you've been communicating with Mark from 2020 till now about your changes, he wouldn't make the statement, I have a lot of things going on out there, because he'd have been aware of all the changes, I think.
Yeah, I know Mark very well. He's
Okay, so why is he saying, I got all these changes? I mean, if he knew everything you guys were doing and you were working around all the stuff he was doing,
Well, and I think that the
Why-
other thing is, you're
Am I
spot
missing
on.
something?
No, right on, because I think the
I
process.
said, I'm not taking it, that's more like, to me, I'm looking at it, we had this, it was a real quiet period, Mark went down 34, and all of a sudden, Clyde's all excited, ready to go. And maybe that's the case, I'm just trying to get the temperament, so I understand the flow of the communication. When did you call Mark and say, we got the 4 million, we're ready to go? Was it this year?
It was in 23.
23.
About 9 months ago was.
Okay, so
there
9
were
months ago.
Conversations prior, it was about 9 months ago, we officially submitted a set of plans to Mark for review.
Okay, so we're talking 9 months, okay, and we're here today. I can tell you I'm 34, because I have family that has property line. Mark Zimmerman met with everybody individually. He put up new mailboxes. He did everything. He paid people when he compensated people. He did everything right. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. And so whether Clyde does it that way or not, we also represent the citizens. So if we are concerned, who's the contractor? Are you gonna be on the property? Are you gonna put stuff back? I mean, these are legitimate questions that citizens have.
Based on accounts.
We're not managing the property, it's not the county controlling, it's a third party.
I think at this point, we need to have a separate meeting with all parties involved. I'm not doing anything until I hear from Mark. He's one of the most respected engineers in the state, head of the association at one point for the Ohio engineers. I mean, I don't think at this point, you guys are gonna convince them and vice versa that one's right, one's wrong. I think we need to sit down and hash it out, but I'm not doing anything or voting on anything until we hear from Mark and come up with a plan here. I don't know what happened here in the past few months or past few years, but I don't think we're gonna get this resolved here at this meeting today.
With Mark, for sure.
We need to have a separate meeting.
That's why I asked. I mean, I'm not trying to be a
Yeah.
bad guy, but they have to buy the material. And if Seneca County's now saying to the city, the approval we gave you, we're pulling it back? I mean, that's kind of what you're saying. I mean, we have,
How are we saying that?
well, you guys are talking about voting on something. What's there to vote on?
I'm not making any decision until we talk to Mark or until we.
But in the timeline of this, one important thing is.
Mark issues.
Mark approved the
We agree with
plans.
this?
Yeah, yeah.
From 4 years ago?
So our engineer issues
Mark
the
approved
permit,
plans and
right?
put.
Okay, that's not.
So we're good.
We don't do that.
But
He did the first mile though.
But just to clarify, no, there's two different things. There's approval of the plans and there's issuing of permits, okay? Mark approved the plans. He approved the plans in their entirety, not for the first mile. He's only issued a permit for 1 mile, okay? But Mark approved the plans in their entirety in April of 2024. So
Okay, so
This is
permit-
not a 5-year ago approval that then we're dusting off and things have changed. He saw everything, he knew where we were going, which side of the road. If anything, the fact that he had all this stuff going on 34 tells me that he had better knowledge of 34 at that time than other roads in the county because he had been involved in stuff ongoing. He knew which sides we were going on, where we were crossing, all of those things for the entire project, and approved it in April of '24. And that's a full approval of how it's going in, where it's going in, with the pipe, all those things. So that was an April 2024 approval. Now, he's issuing the permits piecemeal, but just to clarify on the timeline, this was not approved 5 years ago. It was approved in April of this year.
So the permit, so back to your order in the pipe, he's issuing the permit a mile at a time. Does that affect how you order the pipe?
Yeah.
Well, it does because it's going to, especially if it brings in boring. Because this person, these contractors have.
Government here, that concludes, that's where we're at, okay? Everybody said what they said, I appreciate all the comments, appreciate you coming, that's why we're here. But the next meeting, we need to have Mark Zimmerman in the room. Okay.
One
Doug.
quick question.
Yes.
At the bridge there, is that right away all the way over there to the railroad? Or do the commissioners own that? Do you know? You know, for the past 10 years, Clyde has showed up once a year with an excavator and mowed that. And I always wondered why. I see him park down there, or park at the Grange, you go down there, and I thought, now why is Clyde down here with an excavator and a mower mowing that off? So I didn't know if, you guys do anything about that?
I think Clyde owns a couple acres, don't you own that?
We've got a legal easement, we purchased an easement.
And you just have an easement down the river, okay.
Okay, that's what I wondered. I've seen you there and I just didn't know why.
Okay. Are we good?
Yeah, I think just reconvene with Mark.
Is everybody, hey, we came, we got everything out. So what's the next step? What do we do next? What would everybody like to see happen next?
Well, I mean, meet with Mark.
I think we have a meeting with Mark. Okay? Okay, set that up and go from there. Any of you individually are free to meet with Mark on, and
I just want to
ahead of
say,
time. That's fine.
I just want to say that I don't think if you went from the reservoir to Old Fort and talked to all the residents, I bet you won't find 5 that know about this project. And there's a lot of votes between the reservoir and the Sandusky River.
The transparency really bothers me.
Yeah.
I don't care how you explain it, it's legal, it's whatever. That's not how we do things around here.
And I don't think we get any water from the city of Clyde. Our water comes from further north.
To clarify, we were talking about Green Springs
Just say
Village
Green Springs
residents.
themselves.
That's who gets water from the
Yeah.
city of Clyde. The entire village of Green Springs gets their water provided through the city of Clyde.
We're not talking about the city.
Yeah,
But
and I
we have
do
a
agree
source
with you.
now that's, yeah, this is kind of a backup system and stuff on that, so it's not like they're gonna be a drought.
Oh, you good so far?
Yeah, I mean, as long as we can keep things moving,
We will, we'll get a meeting with Mark
Yep.
and we'll get back with him. He'll obviously, he can watch the tape, right? It's all recorded. With that, we're gonna move on.
Okay.
Okay, everybody good? If you were here, if you guys wanna go, now's the time, you're welcome to stay. Concludes our discussion on County Road 34. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Might see you again. Thank you. Okay. At the end of the meeting, we have public comments, so if anybody has a thought and they want to get it off their mind, please save it to the end of the meeting. We're going to move ahead with commissioner reports. Commissioner Shuff.
Yeah, Tuesday we had our downtown development committee meeting, went over some different projects and stuff for downtown. We also, I know Commissioner Franker and I were there, Tony, I can't remember if you were there or not, but when Gary Click came down to talk to the Board of Elections about
I was not there.
about some legislation he's co-sponsoring and doing some clarification, but, yeah, the Board of Elections got to hear kind of his explanation and concerns from citizens. Also, been working on some business development stuff here in the past week and a half. There is, I don't want to make this too public, but there is,
We're about to.
yeah.
You don't want to say something.
Working on some grant opportunities
Yeah.
for some local businesses, so it's been a busy week.
Good.
Is that broad enough?
Yeah. go to Commissioner Franklin next. Go ahead, thank you.
All right. July 2nd, we was out for the AT building, kind of getting it finalized. They've got everything cleaned up, and I think this week the barrels are gone that they had to get taken care of. That's kind of the
perfect.
last step on there. Jeremy did get back, and so we're good with that. As Tyler alluded to, we did have Board of Elections meeting. Yeah, and they've been, Gary talked about the new House bill. Probably nothing's going to happen for this year, and it's not even pulled out of committee or anything, so got plenty of time on that. July 4th is invited down to Sandusky County Independence Day Rally. Great event. Robert Sprague was there. Bill Reineke had a great event. They had about 90 people there, so Justin Smith kind of lined that up, and a nice day there. July 6th, Commissioner Paradiso and I was in a parade with our families, and it was a great day, and
It was fun.
Yep. Reed Springs did a nice job, and also back up the 4th of July, we was at Tiffin Fireworks, so nice job with fireworks. Lee and I's got in contact whether it's going to happen or not, and stuff on that, so I appreciate the communication and stuff on that, Lee, with that, so. July 9th, we had Budget Commission, and then followed up by Board of Revision. You know, as we go through the Budget Commission, you know, numbers, you know, things are we're okay, but it's not as robust as it has been in, you know, past years and stuff on it, so we're, you know, cognitively keep an eye on that. And then Board of Revision had some delinquencies. Ally was there to kind of, you know, pursue some of the delinquent tax stuff there for the individuals. And then had WTTF this morning, had Dana Nagel on from the Attica Fair. She's president of the Fair Board, so got all their activities coming up for the Attica Independent Fair, so good deal there. And then kind of a little longer one, last night we had regional planning. So as we all know, front page of paper, that Charlene Watkins has moved on. And so we are working towards it. So if anybody that's utilized regional planning, they'll go and get, deliver their information, get the stuff from Julie at the auditor's office. So that's where we transition things to temporarily, and then we'll move on in our full board meeting in August on the decision which direction we're going to go with that. So that's kind of a temporary move now, so that's where we're at.
Is that all?
That's it, yep.
Okay, thanks. A couple notes. Did a few things. Enjoyed the parade. My grandkids were in from Colorado, and I went to Walmart, got $130 worth of candy, and they just threw it out. It was awesome. We slept. We had 2 EMS employees that put their heads on the pillows in the Bloomville building last night. So we moved into our new EMS station. The first call was to Attica, and they got there so fast that the Attica fire chief, "Where'd you guys come from?" And they're from the new station right on 224, which is 5 minutes from Attica, Bloomville, and Republic. So what a night. We'll do a story next week. Kayla, Sherry, we're going to do a story, go out there. But I do have a picture. Len stopped by on the way in, took a picture of the 2 that were there, and then so it's kind of neat. So we're making some progress with coverage. We're busy. We got a lot of calls over in the Green Springs area. We're picking up calls all over, and it's great. Now we had an insurance committee meeting yesterday.
Health insurance?
Regarding our employee benefits for the county. This is a big number, big expenditure to the county. The last 2 years, we've seen 13% increases, and our losses and our claims have just been more than that. We had really good news that our trend is substantially lower than in the past, and we're looking for a more positive renewal. And we won't know that till September. but I thought it was a good meeting. You want to add anything to it?
No, it was good.
Employee benefits are, this is something we look at in our compensation packages. We try to, Mayor, when you try to recruit and retain employees, it's salary's one thing, retirement and vacation, but also your benefits. So that was that meeting, and it was a robust meeting. I think that's it. I'll let you, I won't skip you.
Okay.
County Administrator report.
I have some financial information for you for June, revenue and expenses. In June, we collected just over $1.6 million in revenue, and we expended almost $1.5 million in expenses. So we're on that mark of taking more money in than we're spending right now, which is always a good thing. I will tell you, year-to-date revenue is just over 12.7 million. That is, at the end of June, we should be on target at 50%. We're at roughly 57.9%, so 58%. So I do also have I get some preliminary numbers for sales tax. It doesn't look bad this month. It's just a quick estimate of, it looks like that is on target for that. So on the expense side, I will tell you that we've expended $11.3 million in expenses for the year. That is significantly higher than the 50%. But I think a lot of it is a lot of timing issue. Some of the bills were probably from '23. They get paid in January. That goes into our year-to-date expense. So.
Yeah, because when we look at our budgets, we're pretty good, right?
Yeah, everything looks good financially. I would like to offer a belated happy birthday to Commissioner Paradiso. He had a birthday earlier this week. So that's just my little. I've been out to the Bloomville and New Real Stations. I believe I did that last week before they actually moved in this week at Bloomville, and things were coming along very well out there. Finished up a lot of the issues that were out there. We're waiting on carpet for the training room. I'm going to check on that this afternoon to see when that will be installed. The New Real Station, they had all of the metal studding up. And the drywall was delivered the day that I was out there. So we are moving along with that as well. I received the last of the quotes for security phones, radios, all of that extra owner expense. That's not included in the contract. I received all of that. I'm going to review that tomorrow. And we're going to move forward with that so that we can get going before they get too far with the drywall. I've been reviewing the capital projects budget, and because I know that we met with Brewer Garrett last week, 2 weeks ago now, for some optional alternative projects with our energy savings. And as I was reviewing that budget, it looks like maybe we might be able to do one of those projects without having to borrow any additional money. So we'll have that conversation on my thought with that process for you guys.
Okay, those were we have to decide.
Yeah, we have to decide probably next week.
Yeah.
So if we get a chance to, talk, we can kind of, you guys can give me input and we can get it on the agenda for next week.
Yeah, I think at some point we'll do it, maybe in August, we can present a capital summary for the public and ourselves, all our grants and everything. Now that we know what we got and what we're doing. But is that, so can I interrupt you for a second? There's a little chance I won't be here next week.
Okay.
The doctor called and they set the appointment for 10 o'clock on Thursday with the specialist. And it's, next week at 10. And if I don't take it, it's gonna be 7 months from now, kind of thing. So it's a weird thing, but I don't know how that is. But we normally, big things like this, we normally have the three of us there. But if I believe can we just, like, are we talking about the RTA and the Job and Family
Yes.
Services? And I think we did talk a little bit about RTA. Would that be the one?
Yes.
Can we just have just a quick discussion here with us? So if I'm not here, you guys can.
Sure.
That was one. Okay, so you take it from there.
So
Yeah.
basically, we were given, the remaining projects were air handler unit upgrades and chiller plant upgrades to Job and Family Services. And then we had some furnaces for the RTA building. That total.
Is that your priority?
That in total was $1.1 million in additional cost. So I think, at this point, I don't think we can do the entire $1.1 million. I just don't see it in the budget right now. But that being said, I know that we've had a lot of issues at the RTA building with heating and cooling over there. And I think that would be, I know we've had issues at JFS as well. So I'm not, but I think we need to take that chunk and maybe we can go see if we can find a grant or something for JFS to do their part of the
Would you say, John,
project.
that would be, if you had to pick one, replace all those handlers at the RTA
At
building?
the RTA, yes.
Higher priority.
We're in the red zone, aren't we?
Yeah, so,
Those units are original to the building.
Yeah.
So I would be okay with that.
so, and I can tell you that's approximately $390,000.
We have cash, we could do that.
Yeah.
Can I just want to interject a summary. So I always take a step back for the public. So just to reset for those of you that haven't followed all this capital. The commissioners met and we analyzed all our buildings. And John, maintenance, all of us here, we've been through them. We went through all our buildings as far as all the HVAC units, the lighting, the thermostats, just really everything, right? We had done an RFP, we selected a contractor, and we authorized $2.1 million of capital money, which we paid. And then we were presented options that totaled this $1.1 million that we didn't do. Of the 2.1, the savings, there's a payback. It showed us all the energy savings over 15 years, and it's amazing. You know, on a maintenance program, and we actually get like $1.5 million plus back over a 15-year period of time in savings. Plus, John doesn't get calls in the middle of the night. We're on a semi-annual quarterly maintenance inspection, and we really feel this is a good thing. What she's talking about is we have till like next week. They will hold the price, and it takes time to order and get this stuff in. So if we authorize it, John, then you'll have it by winter.
Yeah,
and they can
they're
put
saying
all that in,
it'll
and then we
be
don't have you call, I mean, that
6
breaks
weeks
down all the
after.
time.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, that's what we're talking about, so everybody understands the capital conversation, that capital conversation.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with it. Do we need a motion to do this, or we can do it next week?
We can do it
I
next
mean, you
week.
guys, I would go for it if I was here, but you guys, if I
Yeah,
am here, I'll be
Yeah.
here, but
Yeah, we can,
I
because
supported it.
it's additional to the project itself, so, it'll be an amendment to the
I just wonder if
contract.
that's good, I just want to get it out there, so there's no
Um,
misunderstanding or anything. You good? Okay.
So back to the actual energy savings, they are starting, they started in our building last week and replaced, if you haven't noticed, it's a little brighter in here. They went through and did the lighting in our building last week. They're finishing up at the CSB building. I believe the message I got just before board was that they were going to be either going to the engineer's office or Job and Family Services next week to start out there.
They're not wasting any time.
No, they are not. They figured 3 days in our building. They were here for about 5 hours. Yeah.
No
They,
complaints?
they've moved, they started the CSB building probably Wednesday last week. I don't think they worked on Friday, and they are finishing up today over at the CSB building. So I believe that if they can get into JFS or engineer, they'll start there next week. So they're starting to do a project out at the jail. It's the retro commissioning. I believe it has to do with the boiler plant that they're trying to figure out, you know, some of that before they get a new install. So
The biggest expense was the jail.
The jail took-
2.1 million, it was like, what, $1.5 million? of it,
something
or
like that.
something like
It was a large amount.
For a
So,
jail. It's original system, 30 years old.
Yep. So they're working on that.
There's a lot going on out there.
But so that's what I have on those plans. They're still working at the youth center to get controls and.
Haven't had any complaints?
I have not heard too much from
So
that,
they're
knock
getting
on wood, so hopefully
Okay.
that's moving along nicely. I do want to remind you that next week also at our next board meeting, in the middle of our board meeting, we have 2 ditch hearings with Sandusky County. One of them includes Wood County as well, so we'll call into Sandusky County. They're the heads of that. So those occur in the middle of our meeting. Also that, again, budgets, we're working on budgets, so we're all looking at that. They are due August the 19th, which is the 3rd Monday in August. Trying to get through all of that to start that project for me in September. I believe that's
Be here before we know.
all I have.
Yeah, just tonight we just got done.
Anything else? Good? Any old business? Anybody? Okay, back to you. Good business.
I have a few supplemental appropriations. General fund, the remit to state for $3,000. This is for the state portion of permit fees for the remainder of the year. We're hoping that's for the remainder of the year. We may have to come back again. This is a guess because we've not had one full year of permitting through our buildings department. The sheriff's commissary fund, software license and service of $3,503.85. This is for corrections management software. General special projects for equipment of $25,000. This was for this server and computers for probation services that they are bringing back into the county. And then the general special projects also for their contract services of $1,155. And this is to pay the attorney services for Pivot Court. Mental health and recovery services grant fund for contract services in the amount of $141,767.94. This is to pay Oriana House. And then the dog and kennel fund capital improvements of $8,000. Kelly has asked to have the east side drainage fixed for her dog kennel. It's not draining very well, so she got $8,000. So it's, when you're at the building, it's the right side.
No. Okay. All right, make a motion to approve supplemental appropriations as presented.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? I do have 2 quick questions. So how's her project coming along? Is that tabled for?
Kelly's, yeah, it's been tabled.
Okay.
We're
Just construction costs? and
construction
everything?
costs are just more than what she has at the
Okay.
at this time.
That'll
So-
come back someday.
So hopefully, yeah, she's hoping that it'll come back.
Okay, and then the probation services, that's all going well?
Yes.
January 1st or July 1st?
July 1st, yep, they
Okay,
brought in,
good there.
I believe they brought in 11
He's good.
11 employees to the county to do probation services, pretrial investigation, and pre-sentencing.
Yeah, this guy was thinking that. so. Okay, roll call?
Commissioner Frankert?
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Federico?
Yes.
to resolutions. Resolution authorizing fund transfer to be made to the American Rescue Plan Fund 1018 in the amount of $25,164.30.
Motion to approve the resolution?
No, second.
Okay, roll call.
Give us a little update on what it is.
Sure.
Sorry.
There was a state auditor's office called me as they were doing our 2023 review. And apparently, at some point, we received this $25,000 in grant money federally. We paid for it out of the American Rescue Plan money, which is also federal money. So
We got it twice.
turn, we have to basically pay that $25,000 out of general fund. So this is to make that correction for them.
Anything else, anybody else? Roll call?
Mr. Frankert?
Yes.
Mr. Shuff?
Yes.
Mr. Paradiso?
Yes.
Approving the amendment to Tyler Technologies contract dated May 3rd, 2023 for the sewer district. This is to change the payment fee schedule. They're replacing the payment fee schedule to a payer electronic pay cost service fee module. So basically, I think what happened in the beginning was the customer was not being charged the percentage, and now this fixes that fee, so we can get that taken care of.
Make a motion, we approve the resolution as read.
Second.
Any discussion? Good? Roll call.
Mr. Frankert?
Yes.
Mr. Shuff?
Yes.
Mr. Paradiso?
Yes.
Authorizing the county administrator, Barb Patterson, to sign for participation in the Kroger National Opioid Settlement Agreement.
So moved.
Second?
Just for clarification, Derek's.
Yes,
said you
Derek,
can
he
sign
told
it.
me I could sign off on it, but we want to make sure that it's, you know,
We're formalizing it.
and the administrator of this section of the opioid agreement is requiring a resolution for the signature.
Any other discussion? Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Frankert?
Yes.
Commissioner Shuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes.
Resolution authorizing the Seneca County Commissioners to enter into a contract with DBT Transportation Services for the ODOT project number 24-09 AWAS 3 PT replacement at the airport.
Finally.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Anybody have any questions? Roll call.
Commissioner Frankert?
Yes.
Commissioner Shuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes.
So there's that, and then these all have to be
It's only
signed.
a one-page all.
Those also have to be signed. The next resolution is authorizing the Seneca County Board of Commissioners to enter into an agreement with Mental Health and Recovery Services Board for behavioral health services on behalf of the Seneca County Youth Center.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call.
Commissioner Frank?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I went too fast. Anybody have any?
No.
Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Frankert?
Yes.
Commissioner Shuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes.
Oh, and this contract will come electronically for electronic signature.
Okay.
Resolution authorizing the emergency right-of-way access of 75 feet in accordance with ORC 6137.12 for the purpose of the Crum Tile and Waterway Project number 12-316.
So moved.
Second. Is there any discussion
What,
on
yeah, you
this
say
one?
Barb.
Yeah, I'm looking at you.
Right, I'm kind of a little.
So, I believe what's happened is, they need additional space to do the project. So they, by ORC, and the engineer has suggested that they extend the right-of-way to 75 feet, because normally it's
60 or something. Doug, you know what it
63,
is?
I think.
63
Just
feet?
for a.
63 feet, I believe. So he's,
Tile.
yeah, so that they have room.
So they're replacing it and
Room to
roof
work.
arm, it's not like it's going through anyways.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, so this is one of those, the engineers
Yeah.
suggesting it.
Yeah.
Are you satisfied with that answer?
Yeah,
You good?
that's great.
Any other
Kind of what
questions?
I just want to verify.
Good, yeah. It's nice having a couple township trustees here, a couple farmers here, you know. I'm good. Roll call.
Commissioner Franker?
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradisa?
Yes.
And that is all I have.
Okay, we are ready to open up for public comment. We'll go left to right. Mayor, you good?
I'm good.
Appreciate everything you're doing. Thank you. Anybody? Yes, the other mayor.
Oh, yeah.
Mayor Wilkinson.
Lou Wilkinson, Mayor Tiffin. So here's some things going on in Tiffin, or at least starting last week. Seems like a long time ago, July 4th was just last week.
Jeez, yeah.
And it was a rainy day. The bands didn't get to play, but the fireworks did go off. There was a window, I don't know if you looked at the radar, but there was a window in the clouds, and they timed it up, and they got them off, and it worked out perfectly. And right after they were done, the rain came. So that worked out.
Good job.
If you've been downtown, you've seen those blue stars on the sidewalks downtown.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the Pet Walk of Fame. So this is a fundraiser organized by private individuals to raise money for the Humane Society because they need a new roof out there. And so all that money is going to be donated to the Humane Society for improvements out there. This Friday, the Christmas lights will be turned on for troubleshooting and repair of anything that's burned out.
Okay.
Like, why are they come on? And they'll stay on next week for their Christmas and July 3rd Thursday.
Yeah.
And also coming up next week in conjunction with that, there's a Nutcracker event, a scavenger hunt going on. So look for information on the Chamber Facebook page. That's a fundraiser for the Operation Homer group. That's all volunteers. And they raise money to put up all those lights. So they're still doing that. Of course, we still have the street paving going on and sewer work. They were working on Washington Street this past week. You might not have noticed because it was happening at night because our city engineer, Matt Watson, just wanted to make sure that traffic was going to still flow. So he arranged for all that to happen at night. So that was good. And I think that's about all, except out at the park, if you've been out there and you saw maybe Life Flight go out there, it's the Youth Fire Academy is meeting out there this week. And
I did not see
the
that.
firefighters are out there teaching the youth from 12 to 15. They have a nice group of young kids out there learning everything that the firefighters have to do.
Is that going on right now?
Yeah.
I think so. Okay.
So, today's the last day. I think they go till 3 o'clock.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Can I do follow up a little bit late? I thought maybe Mike was gonna be here, but Rich Folk, Nate Bridge and stuff on that, any updates on that?
There will be action on Monday's council meeting about that.
Okay.
So I'll call Mike and we'll coordinate, make sure it's all good.
Very good.
John, everything going good with the city? We cooperating and everything? I'm just embarrassed here. Yeah, it's just kind of.
Yeah.
It's great. Thank you. Anything from you?
I have
Good,
one
okay.
additional.
Yep.
Just want to let you know that I met with the prosecutor this morning to get the contract finalized for the renovations at Bettsville's EMS station.
Awesome.
So that should be coming next week for a board.
Love it.
It's awesome.
And
Anything
then
else?
we're still working on the handicap. part of
Yes,
the-
we're trying to find contractors.
Okay.
You familiar with that?
The ADA accessibility.
Yes.
So Barb, why don't you, what are we doing?
So we need, we asked for another parking ADA compliant parking space at the courthouse. And the city has granted approval for us to do this. We are just trying to find contractors. We've reached out to a few and they're like, I don't have the time. So we're trying. John reached out again, I think yesterday.
Expecting a call today from one final guy.
So we'll see what happens and hopefully we can get that going.
Mayor, does the city have some plans for Court Street?
We do, and we're waiting for the rest of our grant funding to come in to make sure that we can get that done.
Do you guys think you could pass that along? Like, I've had citizens ask us as far as like what's going on Court Street, what the future holds. We haven't seen any plans as far as the county's concerned.
Absolutely, our city engineer, Matt Watson, has a nice set of plans. I'll see if we can get those.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good idea.
Thank you.
Adam?
Yeah.
Yeah, that project received $50,000. The city will TSEP to put in an application for the one-time special community improvement funding. And that is That received $50,000 through that. I know the city's, like the mayor said, working on
Gonna be nice.
securing the rest of the funding for that project, but it looks like, based on the plans I've seen from Matt, Mayor, I'm sure you agree, it looks
Yeah.
really good.
How much more is needed, or how much more do you guys?
We're hoping to get an additional 225,000 from local grant funding.
Local grant money?
National Machinery, the Community Foundation, Message for Awesome.
Gotcha.
Good luck.
We're so blessed to have
Yep.
local foundations like that. How many communities would just love to have that possibility? That's true. You know, it's just-
Get a lot of good things done.
Anything else?
No,
Anything else now?
I have nothing else. I'm sorry.
Okay, so happy 200th birthday, Seneca County. We'll be out at the fair. Well, we do have a meeting next week, but then the following week, we're not going to meet. Doug, I don't know if you know, and Mayor Harrison, but the regional planning tent will now be a county tent, which will include all electeds. So we're gonna have some mayors and judges, whoever wants to be in there, along with the township trustees. Proudly display our 200th banner, so it should be a fun week out at the fair. Anything else you want to
Nope,
add?
and I think we'll have probably Bryce come in and give us an update next week, what they're going to plan for the fair
Yeah.
and stuff, so.
Brent, you good? For the most part. All right, buddy. Good to see you. All right. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.